So everyone says the fortune is in the follow-up. Now, the issue, and there's a lot of issues, is people never follow up enough, okay? And lead generation is not the issue, okay? Getting appointments, loving on clients, and follow-up, I mean, that's where all the money is, okay? You have to be relentless, and you have to be systematic. So I'm gonna share my screen here because I have a presentation. So can everybody see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I want to repeat, what is follow-up? Okay. All the money is in tech-enabled, scheduled, relentless, and systematic follow-up. It can't be done on memory. Okay. Who here just writes their leads down and just calls them that way? Who actually has a database which is being fed regularly? Put in the comments if you actually have a database that you feed regularly. Okay, got some people there. Good. Now, you don't just repeat it. I want to repeat this one more time. It's in tech-enabled, scheduled, relentless, and systematic follow-up. Okay, now I want to talk about schedule first. How do I go back? There we go. So what is follow-up and how do you schedule it in? You have to put into your actual schedule when you're going to do prospecting and when you're going to do follow-up. And ideally, you want to do it during 2 times during the day. 8 to 10 or 6 to 4. Okay, I want to repeat that. 8 to 10 or 6 to 4 every single day, no excuses. That time's not for taking meetings. That time isn't to go on Instagram. It needs to be done every single day at the same time. Okay? $1 million income requires $1 million habits. All the top producers in any city have the best habits. They stick to them, and their time blocking is precious. They don't do anything else during that time. If a client wants to meet them during 8 a.m. or 10 a.m., they don't go on it. Hey, I'm sorry, I'm booked up. I got a meeting during that time, or I have my prospecting or follow-up during that time. How about we meet at a different time instead? You know, is 6 or 7 or whatever time better for you? It's sacred. So I want to make your schedule as sacred as possible. What you do, go into your, your Gmail, go into your calendar and have it repeated every single day, every single week, forever. Okay? It needs to be systematic. So tech-enabled agents all have CRMs to make it fast and efficient. If you don't have a CRM at this point, don't even call yourself a real estate agent. Okay? Because all the other agents are going to be miles ahead of you. Now, with that being said, go ahead. Somebody say something? Okay. The average lead is over-researched and under-called. Okay. Every single time a lead comes in, what happens is people over-research it, and then it takes them over 5 minutes to call them. And by that time, the lead is already lost. And I'll get to that more in a second. The scripts are easy. You just need to get on the phone. Okay. Also, every single lead that you get goes into your CRM. Whether you meet them at a coffee shop, whether it comes from an open house, whether it's done through a lead generation website, whether it's for sale by owner, whether it's
c'est-tu le 33Z ou le 33 de vue?
Sasha, your mic's
Some-
not muted.
Somebody's mic's still on. Okay, sorry. Every lead goes into your CRM. Even better, every lead receives an immediate auto response. Okay. I want to talk about being relentless, and I'm going to get into that auto response in a sec here. Okay. Relentless. The average agent, it's not 1 to 4, it's 1.4 times. So the average agent follows up 1.4 times. Okay. Studies show that you need 6 to 9 contacts for the appointment to be set and business earned 90% of the time. 90% of the time. So 90% of the deals are made between the 6 plus contacts. Think about that for a second. How many times are you guys following up with the lead when it comes in? Some people 1, some people 2, and then you forget about them. The average is 1.4, okay? You need to be contacting them more than 6 times on average to just get an appointment, okay? Also, this is going to sound crazy, 40% of agents do not even have a CRM. Sorry, 60% have no CRM. That to me is just insane, okay? You need to follow up relentlessly to the point where every single lead knows that you're the most determined person that they know. Let me repeat that. Your leads, every single one of them needs to know that you are the most determined person that they know. Relentless, relentless follow-up. How do people become champions? Relentlessness. It's all about relentlessness. You can't contact a person too much. People are like, oh, they're gonna feel like I'm pressuring them. You're not pressuring them. Okay. With the same amount of pressure that you're trying to get their business is the same amount of work you're going to put in once you actually have their business. Okay. So all tech-enabled agents have all CRMs. Now, what CRMs are really good to use? One of them that we use is Follow Up Boss. Okay. It already has implemented set drip campaigns that you can use. Okay. Same with KV Core. Those are just a few of them. You guys can use whichever ones you want, but whatever you do, make sure that you have a CRM. Okay. Now I talked about, I talked about immediate auto response. Okay. This should be automatically plugged into your CRM the second it comes into your CRM. Okay. It's a video. The second a lead comes in, you should have an auto video that goes out right away. Here's an example. Hey, I'm Steve Alexopoulos. Thanks for going to my website. We believe the consumer deserves a better quality experience. So we put together a team of experts who are dedicated to making sure every step of the process is smooth and seamless for you, because we're here to serve you at the highest level. So we'll be reaching out over the phone in the next few days to make sure we satisfy your needs and answer all your questions. Now, doesn't have to be super high tech. All you need to do, put your phone out. Hey, Steve Alexopoulos, thanks for going to my website. Sound enthusiastic, sound professional, and shoot the video right away. Now, this video can be made the same for everybody, right? You make it once, and it goes out to every single lead, every single time they touch your database. Okay. How many people here have an automatic video message that goes out to their database? Got one. So raise your hand if you have an automatic auto-generated video message that's going out to your database. 2 people. It's really good. So 2 people out of everyone here has a video message that goes out. Why is video so important?
Puts a
They
face to
can put a face. Go ahead, Seb.
puts a face to the name.
Yeah, it puts a face to the name. Like when you go on social media, for example, you go on Instagram, you go on whatever social media platform you use. What are you watching? Are you watching like people writing things, or are you watching video? We're in a video-driven market right now, okay? And we have been. This isn't new. It's been like that for the last 3 or 4 years now. If you're not sending videos to your CRM, you're stuck in like the early 2000s now. So step number 1, make a video of yourself saying what I just said. You can take a picture of this if you'd like. Say it a few times, get really good at it, and put it in the autoresponder in your CRM. You'll be light years, I promise you. Like right now, for example, less than 5% of the people on this call, or just about 5% of people on this call do it. So if you have a video responder, you'll be light years ahead of every other agent. Okay. Number 2, if you always, so when you're also making videos and you're making calls, there's a very, very powerful 2 words that I always use. Okay. It's we believe. So we believe it's important to give great customer service to every customer. Okay. People always want to start with why. Another thing to consider is, when are you calling the leads? Are you calling them in under 5 minutes? Over half of the people, now this is a crazy stat, and it's because we're in a society now that wants immediate answers. If you wait more than 5 minutes to call somebody, okay, you will lose more than 50% of those leads. Think about how crazy that is. But also, people are on, they can be on their computer, they can be on their phone, and then they can be off within minutes, okay? And they might miss that. And then guess what? They're going to go to somebody else's website during that time, okay? And they're going to talk to somebody who's going to respond to them right away. And guess what? The property that you had listed, the other agent's going to show it. So there's actually a study done by Harvard saying that over 50% of people will not respond after 5 minutes. So that's a crazy, crazy stat, okay? So you have to respond in under 5 minutes. Now, what would you guys say is your average time that you get back to a lead if it comes in? And be honest.
Probably like an hour or 2 sometimes. It depends if I'm on the road or not. It depends when they come in. If I'm sitting at my desk and a lead comes in, I'm calling them immediately. If I'm on the road and a lead comes in, I'm calling them when I can. So that's my honest answer.
Yeah. So get back to them right away, or there's a very, very good chance you're going to lose them. Okay. Now, leads, when they come in. Now, this is going to sound a little bit aggressive, but I don't care. Day 1 to 30. So it goes call first, text, and email all at the same time. Okay. If they don't answer, voicemail, text, email right away. All 3 at the same time. So, hey, John, I tried calling, texting you this morning. I want to make sure you get the questions answered. Call me at 613-111-1111. Okay. Then you do the same thing for the email, and you do the same thing on the text. Next day, same thing. Eventually, if they get annoyed, you can say, yes, and just imagine the level of service and care I'm going to give you when I actually have your listing in business. We take our business very seriously. Do this between 8 and 10, or 8 and 11 is okay. And it says 2 to 4 here, but it's 4 to 6. Okay. It needs to be in your schedule over and over and over again on repeat. Okay. People that have been in your database longer than 30 days. And I want to stress something. The first 7 days, it needs to be every single day. Okay. The next week, I want you to choose just 2 days out of the week to do it. Okay. And once people have been in your database for more than 30 days, you're going to be sending them social proof videos and testimonials on social media. Okay. And I'll give an example. Go outside of a listing you sold, for sale by owner, for example. Stand in front of the house. Hey, this property was listed 90 days, and they were trying to sell it on their own. We took over this listing, this exact listing that you see right behind me, and we got it sold in 6 days. Okay. So make a video just showing that you're able to, like, for example, if it's a for sale by owner, use a for sale by owner example. If it's an expired, use an expired example. Okay. So use the same example and send a social proof video, we call it. Any questions on that? Okay, I'll move on. Also, make a targeted Facebook lister group and add everybody to it and target all your ads to them. Okay. If you guys don't know how to do it, reach out to me and we'll show you guys how to do it. Put your database on a targeted Facebook group or list. You want to have hundreds of people on there, your whole database. Has anybody done this before?
What was the question again, Steve?
A targeted Facebook lister group.
Not me, no.
So what we do is we have targeted Facebook groups that we use our ads to get sent to them as well. Okay. Your database should be on these groups. We do it with our team, like in the back end. Not every single agent does it, but we do it within the leads in the back end. But everybody should have a targeted Facebook group. Seb, you can ask Sarah about that. Okay. What else can you send those people? Market reports done with video. Now, I'm sure all you guys send market reports. And I'm getting to something here, but it's video, video, video. Everything you send out should, not everything, but the majority of what you send out, and I know most of you aren't doing this, is video testimonials, video market reports. Video testimonials, video market reports, video introductions, video, video, video. They should be getting at least 3 videos a month from you guys. And I'm gonna get to why in a second. So who here has heard of the 33 touch system? Put up your hand if you've heard of it. Kind of. Let me explain it to you. Okay. So it's from the book, The Millionaire Real Estate Agent. So here's how it works. It states that in your database, if you have 12 people in your database and you connect with them on a level, any touch level, phone call, video, email, 33 times in 1 year, out of those 12 people, one person will transact every year. Now, they did studies on this. Now, is it going to work like that every single time? Maybe not. But over the span of, they researched this for years, they figured out that, and I'll give you another example. If you have 144 people in your database and they're reached out to 33 times a year, not a month, you'll get 12 transactions. Okay. Who here is marketing to your database that many times a year? Each person.
I mean, I send out weekly emails and updates and stuff like that. So that's,
yeah, so that counts as a touch.
Yeah.
But the best way to send them is through video content. They remember your face. They think of, like, when you see somebody's face in public or wherever it is, do you not remember them more than if you just got an email from them? Right? So video, video, video. All you need to do is grow a huge database. Okay. If you do 33 touches a year on them, 1 out of every 12 of those people should transact within a year, in theory, and in practice as well, actually. So, what kind of ways can you touch people within your database? Okay. Personal touches, birthday cards, holiday greetings, personalized notes. Okay. Phone calls, of course. Regular phone calls. Emails. Sending informative and engaging emails on a consistent basis. Even better though, video emails, video texts. What are some examples of some videos that you can do? I just mentioned a bunch of them, or a few of them. Market report video. Economic report video. You can talk about, what the latest, inflation rate is. You can talk about rates. Economy, market report. Okay. Introduction video message. You can even do a birthday video message, but make it video, and it doesn't take very long. Just shoot it in 2 seconds and send it off. Now, if you don't feel comfortable doing it that many times a month, even just 1 video a month, I promise you will increase your business substantially, but more so in the long run. And I'll tell you why. So I've been in real estate 10 years, okay? There's properties that I sold 10 years ago. If they've never seen a video of me in those 10 years, I promise you they'll probably forget who I am, even though they've gotten some emails from me. But they won't forget my face, especially if they see it once a month, every single month. Okay. Personal letters are huge. Okay. Now, and this is kind of going off topic, but before you do you go to a listing presentation or you go to a buyer presentation, people should have already been touched a minimum of 4 times. Ideally 5. So those touches are video to start. Number 2, the phone call to actually set up the appointment. And I'll give an example of listing. Video, call to set up the appointment. If it only takes once, it takes once, but it'll probably take more. Once the appointment is set, pre-listing package, that's another touch. Okay. If you don't have a pre-listing package, I recommend you get one. It makes you look super professional and it adds value to them. Number 4 is the pre-qualification listing questions before you go on the appointment. That's 4. And 5 is the actual appointment itself. That's 5 touches before I even met the person. Right there. Now, do you think that you have a better chance of signing that listing agreement with 1 phone call and you go, or 5 touches and you go? Pretty simple. Okay. Events and seminars. I'm doing a seminar right now. Events. For example, you can do bowl-a-thons. You can do a whole bunch of events for your clients. Charity events, community involvement. Social media goes without saying. You should add every single one of your clients to either Facebook or Instagram or both. And it should be just automatic. I'm a victim of this because I waited so long before. I mean, I remember I waited 5 years and then I'm like, oh shit, I should probably add my whole database to my social media. So I went through one by one, searching them, trying to find them on social media. Took me a long time. Don't do that. Do it automatically. Trust me. Some of you guys have been here for a while. Some of you have been here for not very long in the real estate game. Build these habits early on. Okay. Market updates, video market updates, video market updates. And I'm sure a lot of you guys make your video templates or your market report templates, add the video to it so they can hear it, can even read it out, and they see it, they see your face, they see the actual written out market report. Perfect scenario. Obviously, follow-up calls, client appreciation events. I just mentioned it. Okay. So the 33 touch isn't like, it doesn't really count. And this is the most important part of the whole 33 touch system. It doesn't really count unless it's consistent and has variety. Keyword, variety. Variety, 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 not just calls. If you call somebody 33 times in a month, it's not going to have the same effect. You need to hit them from as many different angles as possible. Okay. And the reason you do this is so that you can be top of mind with all your clients and all your prospects, and it drives business. And I gave you the way the numbers work. 33 touches a year. That's not very much. That's like 2 or 3 touches a month. That's nothing. 33 sounds like a lot because it's the year. But if you break it down per month, that's like 3 touches a month less. So it's not very much. But the key is you have to actually implement it. You can't just say you're going to implement it. Nothing's going to happen. Actually implement a system. Sit down, come up with the system. If you guys need help on coming up with one, you can message me. But it's not very difficult. You do 2 videos and a call a month. That's it. That's all you need. That's enough. And then you just add on, the events, maybe some personal letters after your listing presentation, right? During the listing presentation, 4 to 5 touches minimum. And I want to circle back quickly. The introduction video email is super, super powerful. Now, what do we do when we follow up? Like, what does it actually look like? Okay. Well, you're doing it for 3 reasons. And this is after you've spoken to somebody and you've built a connection already. You need to rekindle the connection. Okay. A lot of the times they forget. You have to remind them and rekindle that connection that you once had. Number two is the most important one, and I say it all the time. You need to provide some kind of value every single time you reconnect with a prospect or client. The biggest mistake people make is they'll call a prospect or client and they'll just say, hey, you ready yet? Hey, it's Steve. You mentioned, 2 weeks ago that you were looking to list in 2 weeks. It's 2 weeks from now. Ready to list? Nah, you know what? We're going to wait a bit longer. Like you sound desperate, right? Or, hey, Steve Alexopoulos here, Metro City Property Group. Hey, I just sent you over a market snapshot of the last 3 weeks since before we spoke. The good news is 2 properties just sold that are the same model as yours or in the same district that are super similar to yours, and they actually sold $10,000 above what the last one sold for. That's good news because that means that the market's heading up and your property potentially just went up by $10,000 because that's what we're going to compare it to next time. Okay. So with that being said, I think it'd be a really good idea for us to sit down and chat a little bit more about the strategy and how we're going to get you more money. So you're providing value. Now, if somebody tells me that versus, hey, you ready yet? Hey, you said you'd be ready. Like, who are you going to respond to better? Pretty simple. So I would send them a text or an email outlining the market or what's happened within the market recently. You can do a video, you can do an email, however you want it, and then follow that up with a phone call. Or even if you just do the phone call, you have to be able to provide some value. And the reason is it's the law of reciprocity. When you give something to somebody, you get something in return. But people forget all the time. Like they have the list of people I need to follow up with, and they just forget, like, what value am I giving these people at this time? So always lead with value. Now, once you lead with value, a lot of the times they're like, they're not ready for a certain reason. And you need to find out, and it's usually fear driven. So a part of that conversation could go, where they're not ready to meet up yet, or they're not ready to list or whatever it is. So a great question to ask is, hey, it seems like you're interested, but it looks like you're stuck on one thing. And that could be price, that could be commission, that could be whatever. Am I right about that? And then you shut up. And then you let them speak. You're fishing for the objection. You're trying to find out why they're not ready to meet. And then they'll tell you, I think maybe the market's not very good or blah, 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 or whatever it is. At least now you have something where you can handle the objection. But if you don't ask, you don't get, right? So you always have to ask, hey, it seems like you're interested, but it looks like you're stuck on the fact that maybe, I know you wanted maybe like $5,000 or $10,000 more. Am I right about that? Yeah, I'm right about that. Well, now that the market has shifted and, prices have gone up about 5,000 or 10,000 times, I think it's probably a good idea for us to meet now. How do you feel about that? So you handle the objection and then you re-ask for the appointment. But if you don't ask, sometimes they just try and get you off the phone. But you got to dig, get your shovel, dig, find out why they're not ready to meet yet. So first, step one, rekindle the connection. Step two, feed them information, give them information, give them something. Okay. And if they're not ready, follow up on what their fear was. Does anybody have any questions on that? I feel like I just talked a lot for the last 40 minutes. My mouth's all dry now. I think I need some water. So any questions? Now, thank you, Maxime. If you're going to take one thing from this, like every time people watch, videos, or they go to like seminars, or they go to webinars, or whatever it is, even if you can take one thing from it, it could really, really change your business. Like anytime I go to sometimes I pay like thousands of dollars to go to these seminars, and I listen to it and I'm like, oh man, I've heard this before. I've heard this before. But usually there's one thing that I take from it. Okay. And I want you to think of what the one thing is. Now, from redoing this, and you actually learn things as you're teaching and coaching and training. The one that I forgot to do, okay, and I'm going to start doing it again, are the video texts. Okay. It's so effective. It's crazy. Imagine every lead that comes in gets a video text from you. That's like if you have 100 people in your database and 100 people see your face of you talking about real estate, like that alone is insane for your business. But nobody does it. I'm telling you, nobody, like maybe less than 5% of people actually do this. So I challenge you guys in the next few days to send a video message to one of your prospects or clients, just so you can see how easy it is. And you can make the same one and send it to everybody. And it's the script I used right here. You guys can write it down again. Hey, I'm Steve Alexopoulos. Thanks for going to my website. We believe the consumer deserves a better quality experience. So we put together a team of experts who are dedicated to making sure every step of the process is smooth and seamless for you, because we're here to serve you at the highest level. So we'll be reaching out over the phone in the next few days to make sure we satisfy your needs and answer all your questions. Simple. So, hold on. Any questions? Angelo Giannakos, Greek, eh?
Yeah.
Amazing. Amazing. Got another Greek on here. I love that. Okay, guys, I'm going to let you guys go. Send out video content. Just do it. Don't even think about it. Make it happen. It's going to change your business. Make a big difference. Okay, guys?